We're staying in the budget accommodation in Butlins, and my goodness me, it has met expectations. Let me show you how.
Butlins, synonymous with great British seaside fun and frolics, but £15 million has been invested in their play experience complex, alongside the more traditional experiences and shows.
We're going to give away a free holiday!
But is that money being invested in the right place? There's no doubt of its appeal, but when faced with single-pane glass covered in condensation, holes in the plaster, shabby finishing, corroded bathroom doors with a no-lock, cracks, chewing gum, a rusty shower curtain pole and a pool of somebody else's urine on a heavily stained and filthy tissue-covered floor, it kind of smashes the winter wonderland appeal. Merry Christmas 2024 from Butlins.
So we haven't escaped in the motorhome this December, but we did do an escape to Butlins, and that's what this video is all about. We never planned to film it, but we thought we'd share with you some of our findings because it's really a beware and a warning to those of you that are booking those budget holidays at Butlins, what to expect if you do book that budget accommodation, and also maybe hoping that somebody from the bigwigs at Butlins sees this and perhaps reconsiders investment into the silver accommodation and some of the apartments, the older apartments that they've got at Butlins, Bognor. But I also wonder whether this is the case in some of the other locations in the UK as well. So we decided to book Butlins because it was such a bargain. Several of our friends had done some midweek breaks for between £80 and £100 for 4 nights. It's not just about the accommodation in the seaside location. You've also got entertainment every night. You've got a great big swimming pool complex and lots of other fun things like fun fairs. So we thought we'd better give it a go. And Daz decided that for his birthday he wouldn't mind doing that with the kids too. So we were discussing our needs and what might be appropriate for all of us, and we decided to go against having a living space and just go for the bedrooms. Now, I wasn't part of the booking process, but when I came back and told my friend we'd stayed in this awful accommodation, she said, "I told you not to book the silver accommodation, it has to be gold or above, otherwise it's awful." She actually said, "You have to keep your shoes on in apartments like that." And I completely understand, because the videos we're going to show you, it is pretty grim. So when you arrive, you get a pack of information and they're very helpful. It's a nice drive-through check-in, which is really straightforward. And we saw that we were staying in Oyster Bay. Oyster Bay is quite close to where the action is, and it isn't in the 2 hotels that they've got on site there. It's in a set of apartment blocks. And as I walked down towards it, I started to worry because I'd stayed in these apartment blocks maybe 2 decades ago, for a hen night or something like that, and remembering them being pretty grim then. And as you can see from the videos, they were less than impressive.
So what do you get with a budget accommodation in Butlins? It's interesting.
I don't know where they are.
Someone is not vacuuming and someone's dropped something pretty disgusting.
The more we explored, the more grim things we discovered.
So, a bit of closer inspection in the bathroom. Look, shower switch. I remember shower switches. So, you know, it's not a mouldy shower curtain. And, you know, they've freshened up the panels a bit, so it's not a lovely shower, but it's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. But yeah, rusty shower curtain rod. Dealing with some paint peeling situations here. So that's not particularly sightly. Absolutely ancient tiles, and I mean super ancient tiles. Yeah, so not cleaning behind the door. Some old wall plugs. Yeah, that could be a little bit neater, but again, not catastrophic. But yeah, all of these tiles are really pretty ancient, and with the stickers on as well, it looks pretty disgusting. A cupboard that you can't access. Vent. Pretty fluffed up. This looks like it's been emptied fairly recently, so that's not too bad. But yes, someone is not cleaning behind the toilet because we have a lot of grime there. Some missing, yeah, I don't even want to go there. Those tissues have nothing to do with us. And that all looks a bit ancient and disgusting, to say the least. Oh my word. Oh, is that water sat on top? Oh my god, oh my god, have I just discovered a pile of urine? That's disgusting. Well, the one bonus of being in the top budget accommodation is that you are very, very close to where the action is at. But yeah, there is an element of prison living here. Just outside our door, there's cigarette butts and chewing gum, and I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe some sort of air freshener. But you know, it's clear these have been in position for a long time, because you've got some retro looking bay windows that are made of wood. So I think these have been here probably the longest out of all the accommodation units. But it's cheap, and it's cheap for a reason. Look at that. Disgusting.
So Butlins have spent a lot of money on their new play experience. It's a 50,000 square foot play arena across 2 floors with 9 different experiences, all of which have a techie enhancement that will satisfy the most hard to please teenager. From escape rooms to digital darts, this is a £15 million investment.
So warming up after swimming. Daz, you've got an Earl Grey.
Yes.
I've got Americano, and we're about to partake in some Neo games. Ooh.
Instructions.
Oh wow.
Right, so you've got 29 different games to choose from, guys. It's throw the ball the difficulty you want, and it will start out for you. And the more levels you get through, the more points you get. Alright, guys?
Thank you.
There's no doubt about it, it is impressive. You can pay for your whole experience using digital currency and save money by buying more tokens and in advance, rather than at the venue. We pre-booked shuffleboard, Neo games and tech putt, and these 3 activities came in at around £70. If you wanted to do everything, it would cost hundreds. They open the bookings for activities a month in advance of your stay, but popular activities such as escape rooms, which cost 4 tokens a room, book up quickly. And like many things, the tokens are more expensive during the school holidays. The tech putt, which we didn't film, does the scoring for you and recognises your ball, which is a clever touch. And this fairly low tech but highly addictive shuffleboard game was cheap with automatic scoring too. With lots of competitive moments and rowdiness, it was probably my favourite.
Last night and tonight, my son, my 14-year-old, hated it so much at Butlins, he came back with me to dog sit at the house. It's only 25 minutes down the road, but it's a bit sad because we booked it for a little special occasion, and a few years ago he wouldn't have cared about some of the things that aren't quite up to scratch. But we are in the budget accommodation and it is pretty grim. Then today he was having a great time at the pool, they're all enjoying themselves. He got back to his locker, there was no sign of his jumper, and look, someone's handed it into lost property, and I've just picked it up now, and that's after about 2 or 3 hours of us thinking that it's gone. He's only just got this jumper, it was one of his birthday presents, so he's really pleased. I just thought we'd show you, you actually get tea, coffee and milk. Is it because that lid's not closed? There you go, that's what it is. At the singular table that you get in the room, which is a bit hectic with various things. Christmas double, there we go, condensation on the mirror. But this made me chuckle, this giant bin. Kitchen bin. I think they've probably put it in here because people that stay in here are probably producing kitchen.
They heard we were coming.
Yeah, kitchen style waste such as cans and wine bottles. But yeah, we could do with a bedside table or even just a cheap shelf coming out from the side because that's missing. It's nice and toasty and warm in here. But one thing I found kind of sad is that it could be a whole lot nicer if people actually put their rubbish in bins, and that's what makes it feel a bit unpleasant when you step out into those rather bleak outside corridors with the unpleasant metal flooring and stairs and railings and things. You're surrounded by other people's rubbish which could quite easily have made it to a bin, and that coupled with some odd sheets on the floor that don't seem to be picked up by maintenance make it just feel a little bit unkempt. Saying that, someone was litter picking yesterday, so it looks like they're trying to hold back the storm of litter, but it doesn't always work out that way. Yeah, there's a little bit of work to do here. It's cheap, it's cheerful outside of the building, but in here it's just about bearable.
But this is where Butlins got it right.
Pretty impressive vegan options, including a beetroot Wellington. Dad's over there has got a chickpea curry and also a bit of beetroot Wellington, and we've got 2 vegan pizzas that are coming that we have to order before we arrive, so that's pretty cool.
The meal plan made the experience so much easier with multiple options for vegans most nights and at breakfast. The shows are of a high standard and they seem to garner some quite big names. We actually watched 3 while we were there. The kids loved the animals and dinosaurs show, and we watched a magic show where Daz was called up on the stage to be part of a trick. And actually it was a brilliant bit of entertainment.
So we had to leave that dinosaur show because we've got to go and sort Sammy out. He's had company all day, on and off, but it's our turn to take over now. But the dinosaur and animal show, that was quite impressive. And we just walked past an area which was a big no smoking area, about 3 or 4 signs. At least 15 people were all smoking. We're just walking past where there is a designated smoking area outside this particular hotel, but nobody could be bothered to walk the 75 metres to get here.
The Father Christmas meet and greet was part of our stay, and actually it was really lovely with no huge waits, some nice activities with jolly elves, lovely theming and graphics, and a jolly Father Christmas. I've read online that during weekends the wait times have been pretty awful, but all in all, very good stuff, Butlins.
Yeah, floor 2512, North Pole.
Good grief, I'm starting to feel dizzy.
We did witness plenty of unhealthy excess whilst we were there, and Santa gifting a chocolate selection box seemed a step too far. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe a book? We knew that storms were coming, but we didn't think about the quality of our accommodation and how that might affect us because of the storms. This was my first night staying at Butlins because I'd spent the last 2 nights at home looking after Sammy, but we were in for a really bad night's sleep, mainly because of that single pane glass window. The room next door to us was vacant and the cleaners had left the windows like this, presumably to air the apartment. However, the wind was howling that night and the window shook. Have a listen.
So, having moved out from the double bedroom because of the wooden windows shaking so horrifically next door, it sounds like they're going to come off the hinges. I've now moved into a twin room, and that's the gap. That's the gap. So I do like a nice blackout in my room. It's impossible. So I've woken up this morning thinking I actually am going to say something to Butlins. I haven't stayed in the accommodation for the last 2 nights because I've been going back to be with Sammy. But because my oldest son and parents are covering him now, I'm able to stay for the last night and tonight. So it turns out there's nobody next door, so the cleaners have left these wooden windows wide open during what sounded like a gale last night. It was really poor weather, so they were shaking all night. And having moved into my son's room, because there's a spare bed in there, the lights that are outside are so bright and the curtains allow that light to come through the sides. I had to sleep down the end of the bed. But considering the few pictures that I've sent of the side of the toilet where you've got like a pool of somebody else's urine and some tissues, I think I might have to go and show them that picture today and say, I can appreciate budget accommodation, there's going to be some stains on the carpet, there's going to be this. Actually, budget shouldn't mean filthy, and that is pretty disgusting.
Quick note on the swimming pool, great 1930s design, plenty of space, attentive lifeguards, big lockers that you need £1 for. Just a bit of a shame about the rapids being closed for our visit. And a wave machine with non-existent waves. Yes, we did ask them to turn it up. No, they didn't.
So there you have it. Beware of Oyster Bay. There's been some huge investment at Butlins recently, multi-million-pound entertainment complexes and a fantastic swimming complex too. The evening entertainment is also superb. However, that budget accommodation leaves a lot to be desired. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We'll have some more adventures in the new year, but I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very happy 2025. Thanks for watching.